Hey everybody, what's happening? Welcome to this free online training I have created just for you called the 5 Secrets to Creating Unforgettable and Interactive Workshops. My name is Marley Williams and I will be your guide and your host for this free online training that I've created. And I'm just super excited that you are here today. We're going to just dive right in. It's going to be so good. All right, here we go. So first of all, I know that there's a lot of things that you could be doing right now, a lot of places that you could be. And I just want to begin our time together today just saying thank you. Thank you for showing up and thank you for saying yes to yourself. I think one of the things that I feel so honored and lucky to do is that I get to serve leaders and change makers. And my hope is that the content I share today, you will go out there and create these amazing workshops and events to transform more people's lives. So it's just this like brilliant, beautiful ripple effect. So I just want to start with gratitude because I'm just so grateful that you are here with us today. So I would love, again, we're going to use this chat box because if we were all in the same room together, I would be asking you questions and we would be engaging and interacting with each other. So I would love for you just to connect to your heart and really ask yourself, like, what inspired you to be here today? What inspired you to take this time to learn how to create unforgettable and interactive experiences? You did. Thanks, Tanya. I appreciate that. And just, I love asking this question just to help you get grounded and anchored in like why you're here and why this matters. So always learning to be better at my craft, Elizabeth says. I love that. Thank you all for the love. I appreciate that. Self-improvement, energy, inspiration. Always something to learn. One of the things that I absolutely love the most about facilitation is that there's always something to learn. There's always things that I'm doing to elevate and up-level my game and master my craft as a facilitator. And that's what inspires me to keep showing up and sharing and learning and growing. So thank you for following that inspiration to say yes to this training today. I love it. All right, we're going to keep going. You can feel free to type in the chat box what inspired you to be here. I love it. So we have some community agreements for our time together today. So the first is to be present. I know that it's really easy. We have our little phones everywhere. Like, it's really easy to be distracted and to have a lot going on. So I really invite you to treat this as though we were in the same room together and how you would show up if we were in fact in the same room, and to really give yourself the gift of being present and letting go of anything that might distract you from really, truly receiving the gift of this class that I've created for you. The second is to be engaged. We're going to use the chat box. I'm going to maybe do some Q&A. You're going to have an opportunity to share your insights and thoughts. So that is our way of really creating connection and engagement and interaction, even though this is a virtual class. Then the third one is to be open. All of you are probably at very different stages of your facilitation journey, if you will. And I just invite you to really get whatever, like, I hope that you get something that you know that you needed and something that you might have not even known that you need. That's my intention and my invitation for us today. And for you to just have an open heart and an open mind. Maybe there's going to be things that you've heard before, but maybe you're going to hear it in a new way. Or things that you've never heard before. But whatever that is, I just invite you to have an open heart and open mind as we dive into the content for today. And the second one is to have fun. So I'm going to have you just give yourself or your neighbor a high five for showing up and for being here to sign our community agreements. We're going to sign our community agreements with the self high five. We would do it, we can high five each other. on Zoom somehow. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good time. And my goal is just to make this worth your while. So those are our community agreements. And I want to see a thumbs up if you agree. We're good. We're good to go. I love it. All right, here we go. Here we go. So who is this workshop for? This is for you if you are someone who wants to confidently transform people's lives through workshops, events, retreats, or other types of experiences. This is for you if you are a speaker, a coach, someone who wants to gain the skills and tools to inspire, motivate, and engage your audience in a meaningful way. Maybe you're someone who's ready to go from being pretty good at leading workshops to being freaking amazing. Or you're someone who wants to have the capacity, the confidence, and the courage to create impactful and fun learning experiences every single time. So if you resonated with one or more of those things in the chat box, I just want you to type 2 words and say, that's me. That's me. If you resonate with any of those things. All right, make sure we're alive, we're awake, we're here. That's me, sweet. And again, I just want to make sure, I'm gonna go through this to make sure everyone's muted so we don't have any undue background noise. So if you just want to double check that, that would be awesome. Oh my God, there's so many people here. This is amazing. Oh my goodness. Okay, cool. So I think that you are in the right place. Just want to make sure, this is the plane, we're on the right plane, you're going to the right place. So it sounds like this is for you. So for some of you know me pretty well, and some of you don't. So for those of you who don't, my education and background is that I have 2 degrees and over 15 years of experience in adult learning and experiential education. So my undergrad degree is actually in outdoor education. So I'm legit a professional camp counselor. I took classes like top rope rock climbing and challenge course management and backcountry leadership and all sorts of things as an undergrad student, and was a wilderness guide for like 5 years after I graduated from my undergrad. And then I got my master's degree in education, learning things like adult learning theory, program development and design, and was a college advisor for 5 years with first-generation college students, where I designed and developed lots of workshops and programs around motivation and student success. I have designed, led, and facilitated over 100 interactive workshops and experiences, including 2 TEDx events, 21-day backpacking trips, 2-hour workshops, 4-day retreats, all over the board. So I say this because I come to you really wanting to take all of that experience and share the essence of it with you. A lot of people, there aren't like degrees in facilitation, right? And I'm wanting to bring this information to people who can use it to make a difference in the world. I found some fun photos for you to share some of my background. So over here is the TEDx event that I ran, the top left. This was TEDxWW, Western Washington University. Those were our amazing speakers on stage. That's me all the way on the left there. This is on the right is one of my epic facilitator meetups that happen monthly here in Portland. On this bottom left, this photo was from the first retreat I ever led on my own. It was actually a camping trip for LGBTQ women. And that was over 4 years ago. And that was the first retreat that I ever led on my own. The picture in the middle is me facilitating at the Association of Experiential Education, which I'm a part of. There's actually an association for experiential education, which is pretty wild and awesome. And then on the right, some of you know that I am the founder and director of Camp Yes. And that is me leading the first Camp Yes, which was 3 years ago, which is kind of wild. So just to give you a little snapshot, some fun photos of where I've been and what I've created in the world. This is a photo of me at 19 years old, day 27 of a 50-day Outward Bound course. And the reason I showed this photo was like, this experience was really like the first transformational experience that I had in my life. This 50-day course really changed the course, changed the trajectory of my life. And on that course, we actually had a 3-day solo where I sat in the middle of the woods with no food, not talking to anybody for 3 full days. And I got to get really connected with who I am. And yes, that pack is huge. It weighed like 75 pounds. It's like half of me. It's crazy. And on that course, during that solo, this is what I wrote in my journal. And I typed it up because it's a little bit hard to see, but it said, my role in this group and in my life is being enthusiastic and motivating people to do new and exciting things and helping them become better people. At 19 years old, I wrote that down. And at the time, I probably didn't really know what that meant, but it was really, again, that experience was the catalyst for me. And that has led me on this journey to having the desire, like, I want to create experiences like that for other people. Meaning, I want to change people's lives through workshops, retreats, live events, experiences, because, and yes, it doesn't need to be 50 days to be transformational. But again, like having that amount of time, I really got clear about like, this is who I am in the world. And this, like going back and reminding myself of that I had this mission at 19 just affirms everything that I've done between like from now or between then and where I am at now. So where I'm at now is, here's my mission right now. My mission is to empower leaders to become epic facilitators who create unforgettable workshops and events. Because like raise your hand. I want to say raise your hand if we were in the room. If you have ever experienced a unforgettable and transformational workshop and event, and you can put in the chat box, I have. Just put I have if you have had an experience that changed your life, right? And the second piece to that is, how awesome is it to be that person who gets to be the catalyst for someone's life, like to create a life-changing and transformational experience? That would be amazing, right? I want that. I want to be that person. If you want to be that person. I want to be that person who changes someone's life through a workshop or event. I have a secondary mission that I'm on. I want to be that person. Yes, you do. I love it. So many high fives. My other mission, everybody, is to put an end to boring, forgettable, inauthentic, and uninspiring workshops that leave you feeling meh. And what I mean by meh is mediocre hangover experience. Raise your hand if you've gone to a workshop that you're like, really? This is it? Or they're just like spouting off tons of information. It's uninspiring. It's inauthentic. So many times, more often than not, Rob says, right? Like workshops don't necessarily have this like, oh, I want to go to that thing. But the goal is that you create workshops and events where people really get a clear sense that you're like, what you're creating is very different than a lot of what's out there. So this is my other mission, is to put an end to these boring, forgettable workshops and these mediocre hangover experiences, because my mission is like, if people give you, I think the greatest gift someone can give you is their time, energy, and attention. And my goal as a facilitator, anytime someone is committed to showing up to this class or a workshop or an event, my mission is like, I want to blow their mind. I want to rock their world. I want to open their heart and their mind. And I want to show up playful out and give them everything that I have. And I want that to be your mission too. And I believe that it's possible for you. So my commitment to you today is that I'm going to share with you 5 secrets that I've discovered to make workshops way more engaging, interactive, and unforgettable. My second commitment is, I'm trying to take 15 years of experience and give it to you in like 60 minutes. And knowing that I can't necessarily cover every single thing that I know, even though I'm going to do my best, is at the end, I do want to tell you that I'm going to share how you can continue to get support to bring your ideas to life. And I have a couple ways that you can do that I'm really excited to share with you all. So that is my commitment to each and every one of you today. So if you are ready to hear the 5 secrets, type in the chat box, I'm ready. Tell me that you're ready. And then I'm going to take a sip of water. Woohoo! Born ready. All right, here we go. Secret number 1. Secret number 1 is begin with the end in mind. One of the things that people come to me all the time, they're like, Marley, I have this idea for a workshop, and I want to do this, and I want to teach that, and da, 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 da. And the first thing I ask them is, what is the purpose or intention for your workshop? Meaning, like, what's the goal? And the question that I love to ask is, if you imagine people at the end of your workshop, event, or training, what will people know, do, think, or feel as a result of this workshop or event? And really starting from that place of, where do I want to bring people to? It's like if you're hiking and knowing like, okay, I want to go to the top of that mountain, versus like, I want to hike a mountain, but I don't know which one. So this is really creates like, it's the intention. It creates like, what is your true north? Where do you want to bring people to? So starting really with that big question, like, okay, I want to put on an event, I want to put on a workshop. For what purpose? What is the purpose or intention for that workshop? Where will people be by the end of that experience you've created? And one of the things that I love this concept, I call it the enduring understanding. Meaning, what is that one thing? Like, if they don't get anything else, what is that one thing that you want them to really get that will last beyond that event? So those are some prompts, and those are some ways to consider and think about. You have this idea, this inspired idea for a workshop. To start with where you want to bring people to, then create your outline from there. Does that make sense? Can I get a thumbs up on that? Sweet. All right. I'm going to rock through these, and then we're going to make sure that we have time for some questions. I'm going to make sure. Love that. The enduring thing. Too many times. The other piece is, this will help you. A lot of people really struggle with like how much content to put in. And I want to say this, and I might say this again, less is more. Less is more. And knowing where you want to take them will be a filter for what is really important to share to help them get where you want to go. And what experience do you want to create for them to help them get there? So secret number 1 is starting with the end in mind. Ready for number 2? Here we go. Number 2, secret number 2. Some of you have heard this before, and some of you may have never heard this before. And this is seriously like secret sauce. This is what I call the unofficial start. meaning the workshop or event that you're creating starts the moment people walk in the door. Meaning, like, for example, my monthly event, the event officially starts at 7 o'clock, but the doors open at 6:30. What happens at most events is they say doors open at 6:30, event starts at 7, and people come in knowing that some people are going to get there at 6:25, someone's going to get there at 7:05. But in that in-between time, people are just kind of like walking around awkwardly. They don't know what to do. And it just doesn't create a really powerful tone. And that time is a really great opportunity to create an engaging experience right out the gate. So what an unofficial start is, it's an activity that gets people connected and engaged in the experience right away. And what that does is it sets the tone for creating an interactive learning experience. Meaning people are like, when you invite them to engage right away, it's setting them up to know that this is not a passive learning experience, that they are going to be engaging and interacting throughout. So it really sets the tone for more engagement and more interaction. One of the tools many of you have seen me use is the Connect deck. And I actually created the Connect deck for the reason of having an unofficial start. And what the Connect deck is, it is a series of, there's 71 questions in this deck, and each card has a different question on it. So for example, someone walks in the door at 6:35, they check in, we mark their name off, they get a name tag. Sometimes we do fun name tags where they write their name and one word to describe their superpower or something fun like that. And then we hand them a Connect deck card. And when I hand them this card, I say, this card is a magical card. It actually gives you full permission to go up to random people you don't know yet and ask them the question on this card. And then they'll ask you their question, you'll switch questions, and you'll go find someone new. Your challenge or invitation is to meet at least 3 new people before we get started at 7 o'clock. Sound good? High five. And then for the next 20 minutes, they're connecting with other people. The other thing about in-person, especially in-person live events and workshops, is it's not only about the content, it's about the connection. For me, like the types of events that I create, and I would imagine some of you, the types of events you're wanting to build and create community, and something like the Connect deck just really gives people permission to connect. As a facilitator, some of you know the root word of facilitate is facile, which means to make easy. And so as a facilitator, I'm always thinking about how can I make it easier for people to do what I want them to do. And what I want people to do in my workshops is to connect with each other, to build relationships, to build community. And that's a huge value of mine that I bring, and such a unique opportunity to create an unofficial start activity. And you don't have to do the Connect deck, but you could do something else. And I have tons of resources and ideas. I'm just running through these. And if you want more, you're going to learn how you can get more of that. But having an official start that is related to your theme or your topic of the event. And there's ways to do that. So secret number 2 is the unofficial start. It's that the workshop begins the moment they walk in the door, and especially if you have that check-in time that starts before your official start time, but there's a lot that you can do with that space to make it more engaging, more interactive, and more intentional. All right, secret number 2, check. Here is secret number 3. Secret number 3 is all about bringing your content to life. And the thing about this particular secret is it's really a lens to see your content through. And these are some questions as you're putting together your workshops or events. The first question is, if I have all of this information, I have all this content, is how can I make this interactive, right? So one of the things, I've shared this idea before, it's like, okay, maybe someone's talking about the importance of gratitude. And everyone's like, gratitude's really important. And that might be your content. Here's why gratitude's important, right? You know, and you can bring that to life or make it interactive by saying, hey, everybody, I want you to get out your phone and send a text to someone that you're grateful for right now. And tell them one specific reason why you're grateful for them. So that would be a way to bring gratitude to life. Or, you know, if instead of talking about, you know, it's a good idea to write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning when you wake up or before you go to bed. But, or it's like, we're going to get out a piece of paper right now. I'm going to set a timer and I'm going to have you write down 3 things that you're grateful for. And then you can set a timer and say like, oh my gosh, how long did that take? It took 2 minutes. All right. Could you commit to taking 2 minutes every day to write down 3 things that you're grateful for? So those are examples of ways that you could bring something to life, bring a topic or a concept or an idea. It's really an opportunity to invite people to connect the content you are teaching to their life, which is a huge part of adult learning theory, which we're not going to go down the rabbit hole today about, but people want to know, why does this matter to me? Why does this matter to me? And the more, and adults also, like a big part of adult learning is that they want to be engaged in the experience. And I truly believe that this is one of the main differences between what I call transactional workshops or transactional seminars and transformational workshops, is really, it's thinking about how can I bring this content to life. I love it. So this idea is really thinking about like, what do you want to create for your live events, for your workshops? Do you want to create a transactional seminar where this is like the old paradigm of education? The old paradigm of learning is the sage on the stage who's just spouting out tons of information, and it's a very passive learning experience. Whereas a transformational workshop is a very active and engaging learning experience. So the question is, do you just want to share knowledge, or do you want to create an experience? And I believe that you're here because you want to create an experience, because here's the thing, everybody. Information is everywhere. And I think that especially if people are leaving their houses and going in person, that our job as facilitators, as workshop leaders, is to really help them not just have the information, but apply it and integrate it into their life. And my hope is to give you the tools to be able to do that. So transactional seminar versus transformational workshop is really bringing that content to life. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. And I just wanted to share a few of those ideas with you today. Beautiful. So we made it through secret number 3. On to secret number 4. And I know that some of you have heard me say this, but I cannot emphasize this point enough, which is your energy is everything. And who you're being is way more important than what you're doing or saying. And we all know that energy is contagious. And it's really, and a lot of people think like, they've said to me, well, Marley, I'm not like you. I don't have this like big, crazy, high energy. And I'm not trying to create more facilitators like me. My invitation for you is, how can you allow yourself to be more you and to share more of you with the people that you want to serve in the way that you want to serve them. Because that is the thing that people remember. They remember that authenticity. They remember that you were just so genuine, and your authenticity and your genuineness really gives other people permission to show up as themselves and to bring their energy. And so that idea that energy is contagious, it's an opportunity for you to really think about, what is the tone that I want to set? What is the energy that I want to bring to the room? So I would love to hear, we're going to use the chat box for this one. I would love to hear your answer to this question, which is, what shows up when you show up? Meaning, when you walk into a room, you're about to facilitate, you're about to lead this powerful experience, what is the energy that you are bringing, that you are committed to bringing to that experience? And I'm going to have you, in one word, type that into the chat box. So we have humor, possibility, magic, love, care, play, safety, grounding, presence, warmth, smiles, believing that change is possible, dreaming, comfort, optimism, vulnerability, acceptance. I love that. Humor, beautiful. So that is like, I call that like your energetic signature presence, if you will. And it's really connecting to that and creating an opportunity for you to be really connected to the energy you want to bring when you walk in the room. And when you do that, it allows you to let go of perfection, of having to have all the answers, of having to have it all figured out. Because I'm sure many of you have heard this quote before, but it's worth saying again, is that people don't necessarily remember what you said or what you did, but they're never gonna forget the way you made them feel. And how you do that is through your energy and allowing yourself to be fully expressed for exactly who you are. So that's secret number 4. Maybe it's something that you knew, maybe you needed to be reminded of, or something you didn't even think about as a secret sauce to creating unforgettable and transformational workshops and events. So thanks for playing along with that. It was good to see that in the chat. Are you ready for secret number 5? Here we go. Secret number 5 is a powerful closing. Sometimes I've been to workshops or events where it's like, thanks for coming, peace, see you later, right? So this is really creating an opportunity for them to reflect on the experience and to take it into their life, which is another key ingredient of like the difference between a transactional workshop, right? It's or transactional seminar, where it's like, here's all of this information, and a transformational one, which really creates the time and space for people to reflect on the experience and how they're going to apply and integrate that in their life. So this is the now what part, meaning now that they have learned something from you, what will they do with that information when they walk out of the room? And we sometimes assume that people are just going to apply and integrate all of the amazing information we're giving them without us giving the time and space for them to do that. So the thing that I make sure that I have time and space for at the end of any event or workshop that I lead is asking them, like, what is the one thing that they will do, or what I like to call the 1-degree shift that they will make in their life as a result of the workshop, event, or training. And a couple things that you can do is sometimes I'll have them write down like a 60-second free write. What's the biggest aha or takeaway from the workshop together today that we've had? Or I'll have them write down what's the one action you're committed to taking in the next week based on what you learned here today. Then I might have them share that with a partner, because it's one thing to write it down. It's another thing to share it and to have, I've even created accountability partners where I say, all right, exchange contact information. Yes, I will share the PowerPoint with y'all. Definitely, I will share the PowerPoint. You don't have to like write everything down. I will share it with you. Thank you for asking. So I've had them write it down, share with a partner, and create accountability. So, all right, in a week, I'm going to invite you to send this person a text message, put a note in your calendar right now to say, did you do the thing that you said you were going to do? Because my commitment isn't just that you have this information, it's that you do something with it. Because that is the whole reason why we're here. And so the powerful closing, I mean, you can use any of those prompts, but really the idea is giving people an invitation and an opportunity for them to reflect on what they learned and to apply and integrate that into their life when they leave. All right, I always like to throw in bonuses because bonuses are fun. So we made it to secret number 5. Oh wait, there's a slide before the bonus round. And this is one of my favorite quotes of all time that I made up. The difference between education and transformation is application. Meaning it's really, as a facilitator, creating opportunities for people to integrate, to reflect, integrate, and apply what they're learning throughout the event so that they actually walk out of the room feeling different, being a different person, taking a new inspired action in their life. So this is what helps it go beyond just a transactional download of information to my life will be different as a result of this training, of this workshop, of this event. So the bonus here is that it just takes time. It takes time, practice, and experience to get really good at this thing. And here's the thing. The best learning comes from doing the thing and taking action. One of the fun things that I got to see in Facilitator Camp the first time around was people got to do this practicum assignment where they created a workshop or event to have a place for the learning to land. And all of the people that did the optional practicum assignment learned so much from taking action and doing it. And putting your workshop out there is way better than overthinking it, trying to get it right, trying to make it perfect. And there's so much that happens as a result of just putting it out there and being willing to learn and grow. And that's honestly one of my favorite parts about facilitation is every time I'm in front of a room full of people, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm building my skills and capacity to be a more impactful, engaging, transformational facilitator. So just know that wherever you're at on your journey is that I just want to give you permission to start wherever you are with whatever you have and keep going and growing and learning from here, no matter where you're at. Again, some of you are at the beginning stages. Some of you have been doing this for a long time. And I want to invite you to consider this question as we kind of end this part of it. And I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A and then share with you what's next from here. So based on the 5 secrets that I shared with you today, what is your 1 degree shift? Meaning, like, if you were going to take one of those things, what would make the biggest difference for you? So the metaphor, some of you have maybe heard this before. The metaphor of the 1 degree shift is if you're on a sailboat and if you change your course on that sailboat just 1 degree, over the course of hundreds of thousands of miles, you can end up in a completely different place. So the permission here is not leaving like feeling like, oh man, I have to go change everything or do everything different. It's like, maybe again, you heard one small thing today that would make a big difference for you in your next event, your next retreat, your next workshop. So feel free to write that in the chat box over here. And if anyone wants to share their 1 degree shift, I love it. Going to review my event format and see how to add even more interactivity. Focus on transformative exercises versus providing information. Starting with the end. I love that. Alignment, paying more attention to being intentional about my energetic signature presence. I love it. Oh my gosh, so many 1 degree shifts. The powerful close. Yeah, the powerful close, asking them to what they're taking away. Bringing content to life, making it more engaging, more interactive. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to stop share here for a moment, and I want to see all of your beautiful faces. Oh my goodness, it's so fun. All right, we're going to take a group photo, even though we can't see everybody. So you're just going to wave and act like you're having the time of your life. Hey, everybody. Yeah, 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 yeah. I love it. You're so great. Thanks for playing along. It's fun to hear all of your 1 degree shifts here. We're going to do like a few minutes of any questions that you have for me. And if you do, you can raise your hand or just unmute yourself. There's a lot of people on here. Any questions about the 5 secrets that I shared with you, or the 6? Did someone raise their hand or unmute themselves?
Marley, hi, it's Lori. I did.
What's up, Lori?
Hi. I lead online workshops just like this, and I find that people are so shy. So I'm working very hard to get people to unmute themselves, have the camera on, and talk and pretend like we're actually in a room together, even though we're around the world. So that's what I'm listening for, and everything you're saying is, how do I do that better?
How do I do that better? Yeah. How many people do you have on your group calls usually?
Anywhere from 12 to the most has been about 42.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So one thing that I would say, and this is great for everyone. Anytime I do group coaching, I'm like, all right, this is good for everybody. Anyone, raise your hand if you lead online, you use Zoom, and you're like, man, how do I get people connected and engaged? Right? So, one tool that I've used is breakout groups, and maybe you've already tried that. But does everyone know what breakout groups are on Zoom? So you can create breakout rooms and actually have them get into groups of 3 or groups of 4 and engage in a smaller group and give them a prompt. So like if we were on a 90-minute call and I had way more time, what I might do is, all right, for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to get you into groups of 4. Each of you are going to have 1 minute to share your biggest aha or takeaway from our time together today. And then you create the breakout groups. It randomly automates it for you. And you can actually broadcast to the group of like, you can share that prompt to them again. And then you can bring them back. And you can type in like, okay, you're halfway through now. So smaller breakout groups. And I use the chat box as much as I can to have people engage that way. And I just set the tone for engagement and maybe even say like, why does engagement matter? Why is it important for this course? Because, sometimes I say the more you put in, the more you put out. And you might ask a question that someone else might have. Like, Lori, that was a really awesome question. And there might be other people in here that are like, oh my God, I'm so glad that Lori asked that question. And it's also about the energy that you bring and how you're showing up around like being willing to try new things and encourage and invite people to share. So those are a couple thoughts and ideas that I have just off the cuff.
Love it.
We have time for like one more question before I share with you some other things that I have coming up. Thanks for that question, Lori. April, did you raise your hand? All right. And then Sitzpa raised her hand as well. So we'll do 2 more questions.
Okay. I don't know if you can hear me, but I typed it in also.
Oh, yeah. Is there a way that we can connect with others after this call ends? Sure.
Thank you. And
I will figure out a way. I do have a Facebook group called Epic Facilitators Unite. And what I will do is send an invitation to that group to everybody who's on this call. And if you want to join that, and that might be a great place to connect. That's my free Facebook group.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. I love that. Facebook group for future gatherings so we can all be connected. See, even though we're virtual, we're all connecting. It's a beautiful thing. All right. We'll do one more question. Sipa, do you want to ask what your question is?
Yeah, I was wondering if you have any tips on how to get more people at the workshop or in the call, because I just did a workshop and I know that you recommended to me like reaching out to people individually, but mine was a body positive weight loss workshop, and it's weird for me to message people and be like, "Hi, you should come to my weight loss workshop."
Hi, P.S. Come to my
Hi, you need this. Like that's I don't want so.
Yeah.
Do you have any other advice on how to do that?
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, raise your hand if you want to have more people at your workshops or events. Yeah, awesome. So I think at the beginning, like I was saying, personal invites are great, but I totally get that topic could be challenging. And it's just inviting other people to share it. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, that's one way to do it other than the personal invite thing. And I will say, your energy around how you're inviting people into it is one of the things that I've seen be super powerful for me, and like being really excited. And people, this is good for everybody. You think that like, oh, I posted it one time and that means everybody in the world has seen it. And here's the thing. People need to see or hear something around 7 to 10 times before they're going to say yes. So sometimes we think, I've already put it out there once on Facebook, or I've already sent the email, I've already da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, I had to train myself to realize that like people just need, my story was like, I'm bugging people, I'm bothering them, I'm just sharing too many things. And I'm like, well, if I am, then oh well. If my mission, if my cause and my purpose, like I want as many people to experience this as possible, I need to be sharing it as much as possible with as many people as possible. And I think too, it's the mindset. I think marketing can feel really heavy and draining and really overwhelming. And that like having really positive energy about inviting people in is just so valuable.
Okay.
And a super cheesy thing that I've done, and some of you saw this, is like for Camp Yes even, I drew hearts on a flip chart paper of all of the people that I wanted, right? I wanted 50 people at camp. And I drew these hearts. And it was just kind of this energetic thing of like, I'm holding space for you to say yes and show up. And anytime someone shows up and signs up and says yes, I wrote their name in and celebrated that. Celebrating the people who are saying yes, because that creates more yes versus, oh man, how do I get more people and da-da-da-da-da. Like there can be a lot of heaviness and pressure around filling events that I have seen I've experienced myself, and being really cautious with the words that we use of, man, filling events is really hard versus filling events is fun and easy. So how do I make filling events fun and easy? What is that for you? And also look at what has worked in the past. The people that have signed up, the people that have attended, where did they come from? How did they find out about it? And keep doing what's working. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? Yeah?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I did a lot of that stuff. I do like the idea of the hearts, and the celebrating. And then I think a lot of it is just practice. Cause like I was really excited and I posted like 300 million times and I was pretty sure that everybody was tired of hearing me talk about it.
Yeah.
But that might just be where I'm at right now. I don't have a huge following yet. So
Right.
it's like, okay.
The other thing that I will say is it does take time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Building that know, like, and trust factor, and continuing to share content and share valuable information and resources, and showing up and doing Facebook Lives and things like that in between is also just really, really important and valuable too. And just, yeah, giving yourself the grace of time and continuing to show up and continuing to put it out there. And build your, building that know, like, and trust factor, and that reputation happens over time. So I will say that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank
you for the question. I appreciate it. Awesome. So I'm going to jump back into sharing. Hopefully that was helpful for everybody. Thumbs up. Helpful.
I have a quick question. What did you say, the trust thing? You were saying something. I couldn't understand the full sentence.
Which part?
Build the something trust. What did you say?
About filling your events?
Yeah. You said it takes time to build the something.
Oh, the know, like, and trust factor.
Oh, know, like, and trust factor. Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Sarah. Okay. So we're going to head back on my little slides. Thanks for doing a little fun Q&A. Hopefully that was helpful for you. We're going to go back. Thumbs up that you can see my slides. We did 1 degree shift. Check, check, 1, 2. So at the beginning, my commitment was I want to share secrets, support you, do some Q&A, and I also would love to share what I've created for you. I want to get permission though. Is that okay that I can share this with y'all? Thumbs up. I can see some heads nodding. All right. Like I said, tried to bring as much as I can into this training today. And there's so much more to learn, which is why I created Facilitator Camp. There are some of you that are in here that were in the first Facilitator Camp, and the next one is coming up. And so I wanted to share with you essentially how I can continue to support you on your journey as a facilitator. So what is Facilitator Camp? It's a transformational facilitation training program. It's 6 weeks. It's a 6-week online transformational facilitator training program. This is the flow of the camp. The first week, we talk about how to set you and your group up for success, and really looking at all of the things that you and your group need to have an amazing experience. Week 2 is about finding your facilitator flow, your facilitation flow. And this is really looking at how do you map out and plan a workshop or event. What are all of the pieces to the puzzle? That's like one of the biggest questions people ask me. How do I plan this? How do I put the pieces together? How does this all fit together? That's what we talk about in week 2. Week 3 is about being a catalyst for connection. So I share with you all of the exercises and activities that I do to create more engagement, interaction, and connection in both online and live events and workshops. Week 4 is all about discovering your authentic facilitator archetype, which is something that I created to help you awaken your authenticity, right? That's kind of that energy and what shows up when you show up in the room, and really bringing that to life. Week 5 is mastering your messaging, marketing, money, and mindset. So all of the things that we talked about, like the questions around how do I fill my events? What's my messaging? How do I communicate what this is to other people? How do I charge money for my workshops or trainings or events? How much do I charge? So I have a budget template that we work with, and really elevating and up-leveling your mindset around, filling rooms and really showing up in a powerful way. And week 6, we talk about bringing your content to life. So I super geek out about how, like, adult learning theory and experiential design and interaction and engagement. So we dive in even deeper and helping you create more engaging ways of sharing your content with people. So that's kind of the framework, the overview of the flow of the experience. The logistics, it starts in about a month. So you have some time before it gets started. It starts it goes October 1st through November 8th. All of the video sessions will take place via Zoom, and all of the classes are recorded for you to access in the future. So those are 90-minute classes with me, and there's lots of engagement, breakout groups, interaction. I try to keep it really fun, really playful. And then there's 1 hour, so 60 minutes of, I call it Dreamstorm time. It's really office hours with me every week to talk through your ideas, to talk about how things are going with filling your events. There's a free, a private Facebook community where you can get ongoing support. You know, people post like, what do you think about the title for my workshop or event? Things like that. So that's kind of the logistics and the details of the program. I mentioned this before, but there's also an optional practicum assignment where you create a workshop that happens within the container of the program or a little bit after, to really have the learning of the camp, for that learning to land in an actual workshop that you're creating, and to give you all the tools that you need to make that happen. I have all of these bonuses. Yeah. I love bonuses. So I'm continuing to create all of these resources and tools and templates because people keep asking me for them. So your epic workshop event flow template, so that you have a template to plan any single workshop you do in the future ever again for as long as you shall live, of here's my flow, here's the event flow, and you can plug and play, super easy. An event budget, so that you don't lose money, and ideally you make money from your events and workshops. People in Facilitator Camp were getting opportunities for speaking or facilitating at other events, and so I created my proposal template. So someone comes to me, and my whole process of when someone asks me to speak, I'm sharing that with them, with you. So having a speaking consultation phone call script, what do I say when I'm on the phone with someone who wants me to come speak? And then I have this proposal that I send to them that looks really awesome. And then we use these other tools like the Epic Facilitator Inventory, looking at the skills that you have and the skills you want to develop, really understanding your authentic facilitator archetype, and the Elevate Your Energy Roadmap to help you activate the leader within. I don't need to go into too much depth, but those are some of the bonuses that come along with Facilitator Camp. And here's a couple things. I had to get some testimonials in there, y'all, because that's just what you're supposed to do. Hillary says, Marley's online Facilitator Camp gave me the much needed confidence to get out of my head and into action around my first in-person event. What had been taking me months to figure out was accomplished in weeks. I can't say enough good things. If you value connection and transformation for your audience, you must take this course. Thank you, Hillary, for that. I have one more. Facilitator Camp provided the exact content I've been wanting to learn. Marley, with her encouragement and infectious enthusiasm, skillfully showed us best practices without overwhelming us with material for bringing course curriculum to life and enhancing participants' learning experience. My confidence with leading workshops and retreats that transform lives has increased substantially. Thank you, Susie, for that testimonial. Appreciate you. And so here we go. There's two ways to play at Facilitator Camp. There is the handy dandy, there's the VIP Facilitator Camp option, which is essentially the 6-week online training program with everything that I mentioned, all of the tools, all of the templates, plus one-on-one support with me. What that looks like is 2 45-minute Zoom calls with me that are recorded to help you integrate and apply, dreamstorm, brainstorm, anything that you need, plus me looking at any of your workshop outlines, content, material, helping you craft that and put that out there into the world. So Facebook Messenger support, video support, You just get more one-on-one with me. And then option number 2 is the 6-week online training program. And so you get everything that I mentioned. So the investment for the VIP, there's 10 spots available. Someone signed up this week already, which is really cool before even launching this. So there's currently 9 spots available for that VIP option. And there are 20 spots available for the facilitator camp so that I make sure that I'm able to show up fully for you in that group. And what I'm going to do, I love giving stuff away and bonuses. I just put the link to Facilitator Camp in the group chat because here's how to sign up. If you want to sign up, and you go to this website that I just put in the chat box, which is marleywilliams.com/facilitatorcamp. Choose the option that works for you. Step 3, become an epic facilitator through having a coach, mentor, and community to support you. And then if you sign up today, if you're like, this was amazing, I am so down, I'm so ready. If you sign up today, the first 10 people to sign up today, I'm going to gift you a free Power Hour facilitation breakthrough coaching session with me. And that can look like mapping out your whole event, anything that you need. Again, that gets recorded for you to have in the future. Even if you do the VIP, I would just gift you another breakthrough session that happen, and this will happen during the month of September. And you get free entry into the Epic Facilitator Workshop tomorrow night in Portland, which is going to happen. So you get to come to that for free if you want. So, and Jocelyn, you do get that if you already signed up. I guess I should have typed that in personally. But yes, I will gift you the free Power Hour session for sure. Woo, we did it. Oh my gosh, it's like 4:01. We made it. We made it. We made it. So I want to make sure that the link is working. Oh yeah, Nicole put in the Connect Deck link. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And again, this is great. Even if you don't live in Portland, it's all virtual. It's all online. I mean, the Epic Facilitator meetups are here in Portland. So here we go. Biggest takeaway, aha. Thank you so much for showing up and playing full out, everybody. What I want to do is, I know that like we made it to 4:02. The link to sign up, I know that some of you all have to lead, applying some of the hot tips. Woo, does anyone have any questions for me about what I talked about with Facilitator Camp or anything, any of the details or anything like that, or if it's a good fit for you? And if you have to go, I totally respect you. And either way, I just love you all so much. And I'm going to officially end our class today with a big love whoosh from my heart to your heart. So everybody, on the count of 3, we're going to do a big love whoosh. 1, 2, 3, whoosh. I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's the conclusion of our training together today. And I am here. I will stick around if you have any questions at all. And I'm going to put that link in again, marleywilliams.com/facilitatorcamp. Super stoked about it. But yeah, I'm going to stick around and hang out with y'all if you have any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand. If you have to go, thanks for waving. Nicole, thanks for sharing the Connect Deck.
Yes. Can I share something else?
I would love for you to share something else.
Okay.
You're amazing.
I'm just so excited to share this with you. I popped on. I was like, this is a great time to share. I don't know if any of you have worked with Marley before. I met Marley in December of last year, did a couple days workshop and had a really great time. And it felt really empowered to go for it. The bullet point on the slide about just doing the thing and not overthinking it really inspired me to go for that. And since then, I've booked paid and non-paid workshops this year. This is my first time doing it.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm like, sure, I can facilitate something, and I know I can do it tomorrow if I needed to, but I have a couple weeks to prepare, so why not? I'll apply to this, and I'll say yes to that. So I just want to say thank you so much for that.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I mean, how much growth you've just in the past few months of saying yes and leading. I mean, Nicole, I don't know if she leads amazing bike packing trips, but also does incredible other events and speaking, like you said, stepping into that and having the confidence to do that. So I'm excited for you and what is to come.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I really appreciate that what you share applies in so many ways, from my workshops about healing trauma and building resilience to self-care in the workplace. So it really applies to all this stuff.
I love it. So good. Yeah.
Hi, this is Bethany. Sorry, I missed the last few minutes because my kid fell off their skateboard and I had to go attend to.
Oh no, are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. It was bloody. Anyway.
Bloody.
So one of the questions I had is I often present at like professional conferences with lots of following or in between lots of meh workshops. And so oftentimes, like I try to bring lots of energy and be funny and be very different. And they're like so taken aback. Like it's very different than the rest of the conference they're at. They don't know how to take me. Plus it's professionals. I want to seem professional, which I think you can be fun and professional and humorous at the same time. But anyway, do you have any tips for that on how to transition people from what they just experienced into your workshop?
I mean, I think I own that it's different.
Okay.
You know, and not feeling like I have to apologize or fit this other mold. Like this workshop might be different than anything else you've ever done before, you know, and we're going to do things and having a reason for it. I think part of adult learning is not just doing stuff to do it, but like the reason I'm going to create opportunities for you to connect and engage and interact with each other, for you to really integrate the knowledge that I'm going to be sharing throughout the day to day. So some people really need to know why. And that helps them almost relax into it and say, cool. Like, and sometimes like I've gotten on stage before and like I did community agreements at the beginning. Sometimes my community agreement is as simple as this. I'll say, are you ready to show up and play full out with me? And can I like, on the count of 3, like I'm ready or something like that. And again, how I show up, it's like my energy is contagious and I'm not everyone's jam.
Yeah.
And sometimes the people that look the least engaged come up to you afterwards and you're like, wow, that was so amazing. That was so different. And so not basing, are they having a good time off of their face? Necessarily, because it's like my commitment is to show up and play full out. And some people are going to resonate with that and some people aren't, but I'm not going to sit up here and talk at you for another hour on that. You know what that's like. And this is going to be different. And here's why. So
yeah, I do try to warn them and say, this is going to be interactive. I'm going to ask you questions. We're going to do some small group workshops to get, work together. And they're like, but then they always warm up and they enjoy it. And then they can make their own professional connections. And that's the whole reason they're there. So
exactly.
Right, thank you so much.
I think it's like breaking through that, that barrier, that wall of like, it's kind of like icebreakers. Like everybody hates them and then everybody loves them. Like once you do it, because it's again, as a facilitator, your job is to make it easier for them to get the content, the material, whatever it is. And to be able to do that. Yeah. Beautiful. Are there other questions for me about anything we've covered today or about Facilitator Camp or anything else that's up for you that I can support you with right now? If not, that's okay. Looks like people are hopping off. Tanya, I have an answer for you, but I'll just send you a message. Awesome. Yeah, shedding the expectations of what professional looks like, right? I love it. Anything else for today? Questions for me? You good? Thumbs up? Thank you all so very much for showing up, for playing full out, and for being here on today's masterclass. And
Thanks, Marley.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I will invite all of you into the Epic Facilitator Facebook group. That's free. and hope to see some of you in facilitator camps. All right, y'all. Peace.